of this. You already heard about what's going on in the Middle East right now between the Israelis and the Palestinians. Now, for those of you that want to start trouble, that wants to go on my live and try to create problems, I'm letting you know right now that the moderators are already on standby, ready to get rid of you guys. I'm just letting you know ahead of time before things will go any further. I'm going to go and speak my truth, and if you don't like me speaking my truth, as I say, there's the door. You don't have to watch my live if you don't want if you don't like for me speaking my truth. Now, with that being said, let's get on with the program, shall we? So, as you may know, that you guys around the world heard about the situation in the Middle East. You heard about what's going on between Israel and Palestine. But the thing of it is that I already know that I am supporting the Palestinians. There's no question. You saw me on all my social media that I'm posting supporting the Palestinians, and that the reason there's a lot of people don't know why. I mean, a lot of people don't know what starts the conflict from the get go. So let's get started, shall we? So here we go. What started is when Israel, the country of Israel, basically the Israeli government, tell the Palestinians, because it's, the place called Shirak, which is the East Jerusalem. It's about East Jerusalem. So um, here's the thing. Okay, so the Israeli government, tell the people you need to leave your house. Now remember, they own that. I mean, the Palestinians own that house. I mean, that's their home. They've been there for years, maybe decades. So when the Israeli government told them to, leave, or to tell them or force them to get out of their homes, and and let the Israeli settlers move into their house. And remember, that's the Palestinian house. They own that house, and all of a sudden they forcing them to get out, and that's happening in East Jerusalem. Um, so after that, and then the conflict was continuing, and I think that a lot of people saw what's happening when you have a situation when someone forced you out of your home and which you own. I mean, and then let the Israeli settlers into your home. That is straight. It's basically disrespectful. So I want you to like this live stream, share this live stream. This is going to be more serious. This is going to be more controversial because I know a lot of people going to come to my live, going to start some trouble with this. And I'm telling you, and all the moderators on YouTube that's moderating my live right now, if you see trouble, you know what to do. Handle it. If you see anybody want to start drama, handle it. So let's continue. So with that being said, you know, after all this is happening, you see a lot of people, Palestinians are very upset about all of this. They're upset that their counter, I mean, their loved ones in Eastern Jerusalem don't have a home to live in, and these are families. It's not ain't like a single person living in the house. Families are living there, and they own those houses. And all of a sudden, the government kicked them out of the house. It's just like saying, y'all, that a, a black person. I'm gonna tell you, like, black. You own your home, right? This is your home. You own it. Ain't nobody telling you what to do. This is your house, and your government will tell you, no, get out of this house. But you own your home. This is your home. You've been there for years, maybe decades, and they want to kick you out, legally, and the Israeli courts allowing it to happen. So that's what all started. And I know that the and really the mainstream media, I'm gonna be honest with you, they're biased. They're really biased. Like they shown, when Hamas launches, rockets towards Israel, like Tel Aviv and Jerusalem and parts of Israel, but they always saw that. But when it comes to the Palestinians and how many people that being killed, the media staying silent about it. They didn't say nothing, and so it's sad. I mean, people are dying out there in Gaza, in the West Bank. For most of y'all who follow me on Instagram, make sure you do. It's the_real_lions_den number 2. You'll see so many incidents in the last few weeks of what happened with the Palestinians. You're seeing airstrikes, Israeli airstrikes targeting innocent Palestinians. Even in Al Asa, which is which is like a church, but it's like a mosque. And all of a sudden, you see Israeli soldiers throwing, bombs, not bombs, but like smoke grenades at worshipers. And you see stuff like this, and you see there's so far. There's more than 300 Palestinians is no longer with us, and that's women and children alone over an Israeli airstrike. So this is how serious this is. And basically, I know that President Joe Biden has told the public that Israel has a right to defend itself. But here's the problem with that. You see so many people, you see so many lives lost. Kids lost their lives today. Teenagers lost their lives. Innocent Palestinians who goes on with their lives, didn't have anything to do with what's going on with Israel, lost their lives in Gaza. Shouts out to Al Jazeera Plus. This reports now that a 6-year-old girl died in the rubble. See, they're trying to basically blaming Hamas and everybody else with this, but they staying silent on what Israel is doing to the Palestinians, innocent people. I see a video that I posted on Instagram. I'm showing Israeli mob just throwing um, throwing like bricks and bottles at at a Palestinian driving by. So, and then there's been reports that Palestinians do the same thing with Israel. So, to me, it seemed to me this is a major conflict going down. It's people are hurt, people are dying. So, I mean, I saw a baby's face. I mean, I saw a little boy, a Palestinian boy, ran to go where his father is. Excuse me, and his father was one of the victims that lost their lives in the airstrike, along with his brother. So this is real. This is utterly real, y'all. And this is why I'm telling you guys how serious, how passionate I can be when you see kids as young as 8 years old dying in an airstrike. It's just crazy. And and then I mean I was showing you videos of the videos of what's happening in Gaza, what's happening in the West Bank. Like one time, a airstrike hit a building, and then Israel will say, "Well, this is a Hamas headquarters," but it turns out it's where all the media headquarters are, like Al Jazeera, the Associated Press, that same old building. It's been crashing down. And then another incident that Israel using airstrikes, and then the residential buildings been been damaged. Really the entire part of Gaza is completely completely destroyed. So obviously, what you're seeing is that the continuation of all of this. I'm telling you guys this, y'all, and a lot of people going to have opinions. A lot of people going to have who's. I mean, the sides is going to be people are going to be picking sides about the entire situation, and I'm seeing a lot of people on Facebook right now. Some people on Facebook saying I support Israel. Some people like myself are going to support the Palestinians. I'm gonna tell you like this: this is not going to end well. And I saw pictures of the United Nations, try to figure out a ceasefire between Palestinians and Israel, and majority of the country agreed to the ceasefire except one country, one, and you and I both know who that country is. So it's a lot. It's crazy, y'all. It's really really crazy. Make sure you subscribe this. I mean, if you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe this channel. Share, like the live stream, share the live stream. Because I'm gonna probably be there for a couple of minutes. I won't be here long. Um, Talking about this situation between Israel and God and the Palestinians, it's really really crazy. It's really crazy. Now they talking about now. President Biden says that Israel has the right to defend itself, and the comparison between Israel side and the Palestinian side is even crazier. Already, there's 200 plus Palestinians are dead. They were killed in an airstrike alone. Compared to Israel, I think they lost at least 12 people with Hamas's one of Hamas's rockets. Compared compared to Israelis. So y'all, this is basically an important topic, a serious topic. Like I said, lives has been lost through this ordeal. I'm receiving tweets from a source. I'm following this guy. I'm not going to reveal who that person is, of security reasons. But I follow this guy on Twitter. He lives in Gaza. And he tell me a lot of stuff on Twitter. I mean, not me personally, but he tweets everything that's going on in Gaza right now. That's not good. That basically, that people lost their lives. I see children. I see bodies. It's too. I mean, it's really too graphic that I try to explain to you on here on Haps TV. It's too graphic. But I will say this: it is very disturbing. I felt really, really sad that that child. I mean, it's no longer here. You know, and I know a lot of you guys going to ask, "Well, Lions Den, why are you support the Palestinians? Why are you involved in this thing?" Well, there's so many reasons why I'm involved in this, and so many reasons why I'm showing love and support with the Palestinians, because the Palestinians show love and support for us. And to me, when when Trayvon Martin was killed, when Mike Brown was killed, when Laquan McDonald was killed, when Sandra Bland was killed, when Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, even George Floyd. Matter of fact, even the Palestinians put George Floyd's face with a Palestinian flag in the back in Gaza City show the solidarity for us. And let's not forget, you got the Black Panther Party. You got the late great Malcolm X. You got Angela Davis and other civil rights leaders supporting the Palestinians. So it's because they're suffering more than we are. And it's sad that we pay our taxpayers dollars to fund Israel. And as for former Muslim like myself, this is why I felt the way I felt. This is why my heart with the Palestinian people right now. Jesse Surfer, welcome to my live, man. He said, Alhamdulillah, I support the Palestinians too. And he continues to say, I'm Muslim, that's why I support the Palestinians. And so what we're seeing, that a lot of Palestinians perished. I mean, you see, I mean, when you go to my Instagram, you're going to see a lot of videos that I posted, pictures that I posted. Even some politicians is supporting the Palestinians. So the thing of it is that Palestinians support ADOS as well. I'm letting y'all know how deep this really is. So when the Palestinians support ADOS, that's we as ADOS have to support them and their struggles too, because they supported us. Name again. What's up, brother? He said, I support whoever supports ADOS people. Yes, and the Palestinians been supporting us since day one. When we, as black people, and there's also Afro-Palestinians. So you got black Palestinians in the land as well. So the reality is that they've been suffering this for decades. I'm talking about Palestinian people. They've been suffering all of this for decades, of how Israel did to them, how they're occupying their land. This is facts. They've been occupying their land since 1948. That's a long time. 1948. And I also posted a picture on Instagram of all the years, and that's before Israel even took over their territories. In 1948, it was all Palestine, all the entire. Now it's Israel now, but all back then it was all Palestine. So now President Joe Biden now want to have a ceasefire between Israel and the Palestinians. But where was that when the UN Security Council issued a vote for all the countries issuing a ceasefire, and the United States are the only country that said no? It's facts. So now President Biden wants a ceasefire because there's been pressure from other leaders or in his own camp and say you need to stop this. So to me, it's like we as a society have to really support the Palestinians in their causes. Compared to like 12 Israelis dead, almost 300 Palestinians are killed with Israeli airstrikes alone. And that's including women and children. Light Bearer, thank you for joining my live. She said Palestinians really always have black support. I serve with brothers and sisters who live over there. I've been angry at the bad treatment they have received. Exactly. So I told y'all, this is deeper than you think it is. When you have civil rights leaders, we have the Black Panther Party, we have Malcolm X, when you have Angela Davis supporting the Palestinians, because the Palestinians been supporting us for years, doing all of this with Trayvon Martin, Mike Brown, with Laquan McDonald, Sandra Bland, Fernando Castillo, Ahmed Arbery, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, definitely. They were there for us. They were there to condemn the United States of the treatment of black people here. And that's for the Palestinian government as a whole. Jesse continued to say is in 1948 they was put over there. In 1948 they was put over there out of Germany by American president. They had no homeland identity in the Middle East. That's facts. Light Bearer says they're trying to wipe them out. Thanks for speaking out. Yeah, I mean, this is again like we some people like myself can't say nothing because they felt that obviously they're gonna be pro-Israeli or pro-Israel. And but see, when you see bodies in the rubble, I mean, this is like 9/11 type rubble we're talking about. When you see bodies there of women and children as young as 7 and 8 years old lost their lives because of an Israeli airstrike. That's scary. It's just like saying, y'all, when a black man who owned a home and the U.S. government decided, no, we're going to kick you out right now. We're going to go ahead and kick you out, get you out. And you own this home. And obviously, so they forced to get kicked out and put white people into your home. This is what's happening in Israel right now with the Palestinians. They've been forced out of their homes by the Israeli government, by the Israeli courts, and say, oh, this is not your home anymore. But you own the home for decades and years, and they kick you out. They literally kick you out of your home in East Jerusalem. So Lightbearer continues to say, England always wanted more African land. Yeah, that's facts. Y'all, and I'm not telling neither one of y'all who to support, who's backing. But at the end of the day, the Palestinians will always got my support. Yesterday I was on I was on Clubhouse, and there's some Palestinians talk about this issue. So I was there giving them none but love and support. And we as ADOS need to do the same for them because they did for us. And I'm being straightforward. They did it just for us. And they agree that, that money, and I'm going to be real, that money that the United States government gives Israel, that money could have been for us, for the reparations. But that didn't happen like that. So basically, like Bird continued to say, is they don't have the same meaning as the Israelis. Yeah, that's true. So what we're seeing, y'all, is basically you see a catastrophic of what's going on with the Palestinian people right now. They are being eradicated. What Israel is trying to do is trying to destroy the entire Palestinian people, and so they will be no longer exist, making this an Israel country. And we all know that the Palestinians were there first, but they're trying to eradicate them. They're trying to wipe them off the face of the earth. It's really scary. Hey, Sonya C's. Sonya C says Israel is a racist police state created by the U.S. and the U.K. using our tax dollars to fund them, and it's sad. It's basically sad when you have a country that's been there for decades, and then now all of a sudden Israel try to eliminate them. It's just ridiculous. Sonny C said, I remember I guess she said infidels or infada, decades ago. So you see, this to me is kind of personal in a way, because you look at what is going on, and you see Zionists are trying to wipe out the entire Palestinian people, wipe them out. And that is part of, I agree with Sonya C just said, is the Zionist state is a symbol of white supremacy in the world. And it is. It's about power and money. This to me is showing you how Israel could easily taking out the Palestinians with one bomb. You see a lot of videos and pictures showing incidents that, one bomb can annihilate the entire, intifada. Thank you for correcting me, Sonya C's. Intifada. But one bomb can eliminate the entire Gaza Strip. And Gaza is really a small, teeny tiny, small area. And this is what that's just what they're trying to do. They're already occupying the Palestinians. Some can't even take a shower. There's reports that they cut off the water, which means some couldn't even shower. Cut off the electricity. This is what's going on right now in Israel. They cut off the electricity. They cut off the water for people who couldn't even shower, couldn't even drink it. This how serious it is in with the Israeli and Palestinian conflict, y'all. It's really serious right now. And Jesse asked, "What do we have the UN for? What are they doing?" Well, here's the thing, Jesse, and I'm gonna tell you straight up: the United Nations asked all the countries. They want a ceasefire between Israel and the Palestinians. And like I said, one country said no, and now President Biden already said, "Well, we want a ceasefire too." But where was that decision when the United States said no to that ceasefire? See, it's getting crazy, y'all, and that's why I said that the mainstream media, and I'm being honest, is so biased. This is why I can't even. This is why I'm here. This is why a lot of the new black media is here to tell you what's really going on. And obviously, we're seeing time and time again what is happening. And so when you see, it, like I said, they said, Sonya C said they are evil, but you can't even speak on it because they control the media in the U.S. They do. But yet, when it comes to Hamas launches their rockets into Israel, all of a sudden, it's all everybody gonna report it. Everybody gonna talk about it. Like Bear said, the UN's behind everything. Don't be fooled. I wouldn't even be surprised. It's like now we're in a state of. I mean, the Palestinians are in a state of emergency every day. Some won't even report it. So it's sad. It's really sad, y'all. But you have to understand one thing is that Palestinians got so many religions in that area. So not only you're dealing with Muslims, but you're dealing with Christians and you got Palestinian Jews too. So you got all these religions over there and try to control what the Palestinians are doing. Sonya C says the white media is on call for Israel as usual. They control the news. Yes, they do, and that's why that's why they were staying silent on what's going on with the Palestinians. They stand silent because they're on code. And Sonya C, you're absolutely right. They're on code, staying silent of what's happening. And the Palestinians every day is losing family members, friends, and it's sad. They tried to eradicate the entire Palestinian population. That is scary, y'all. That is really, really scary. And y'all, the question is, and this is why I said that now we as black people in this country need to, and I'm not telling y'all what to do and everything because y'all have y'all ways. But the Palestinians need the support that we can get, and I'm trying to do my best to try to put the news out there so that some of y'all will know what's going on in, in Gaza. And again, this remind you of what's going on here. And I know this month, well, I think about a week ago, the week is the anniversary of what happened with the movement in Philadelphia when they were bombed. And so this like history is repeating itself in Gaza and in the West Bank. But it shows you how serious this situation is. Like Barra said, they lie all the time. Yeah, but it shows you how far they can go with the lies and stuff. They don't want the truth to come out. So I will give a shout out to everybody who lives in Gaza right now, who lives in the West Bank, and my heart goes out to y'all. Um, but when I see that Palestinian girl, that's the video I posted on there too. That Palestinian girl was like, really, she just couldn't understand why Israel is doing this to them. It's sad. Jesse says it seems like all big countries want to fight small countries when it comes to a country like Russia, who just tapped our pipeline. America isn't going no smoke. You're 100% right, Jesse. It's factual, man. You're right. It seems like when it comes to Russia and China, the U.S. they don't want to start with them. But when it comes to Iraq, it comes like that. Bam, we got the leverage. We got the So it's basically, you know what, Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israeli Prime Minister, he need to be arrested on war crimes. He needs to. So what he did to the Palestinians, it's just really out of hand. And the thing is that when they say, Israel has a right to defend itself, but Israel got the F-16 fighter jets, they got tanks, they got surveillance. They're also a nuclear power. So why would y'all say that Israel has a right to defend itself when they got all this stuff going on with them? And the Palestinians, all they had was rockets. The question is, should the Palestinians have a right to defend itself? Should the Palestinians have a right to survive, try to survive to protect their families? That's what we should ask them. It's crazy, it's sad, but it's true. I mean, you see world leaders, right? You see, you know, now President Biden wants to, quote unquote, uh, he wants to have a ceasefire. But you didn't say that to your people, your U.S. consulate in UN, that a lot of countries want a ceasefire except the United States. Really, and you're going to allow all the Palestinians dying over something that Israel started. Okay, and the Israeli courts, kick the Palestinians out of East Jerusalem, out of their homes, who the Palestinians people own, by the way, and yet the Palestinians are evil. That's what Israel and everybody, the U.S., Palestinians are evil. But then when all the people that were killed, women, children, babies, we already know why. We already know why. So, um, so Sonia C says this, and she says, so they are the only ones with a right to defend themselves. She continues to say, the state of Israel is a crucial part of white supremacy theory. Yeah. So right now, y'all, this is getting really serious. What is going on right there? And I'm going to continue doing stories on Instagram, on Twitter. And the only reason why I didn't post none on my Facebook page is because I know Mark Zuckerberg is going to crack down on people who are pro-Palestine. I know Mark Zuckerberg. Because he's Jewish himself. So if there's any anti-Israel on his website or on his platform, or any that's pro-Palestine, he's going to shut it down. So, like I said, this is important for people to understand how serious this crisis really is. Lightbearer says, just like they said white police have the right to protect themselves, many they kill didn't have a weapon. Yep. See, this is why I told y'all how important this is. And like I said, a few congressperson like AOC, was Alexandria Ocasio Cortez, along with other, I think it's like four congresswomen, already are condemning the President Biden for even allowing this to happen, and they're telling stories of what happened in the West Bank, in Gaza, of what happened in this tweet. This woman, and I never forget this. She's a Palestinian woman. She tweeted. She said, "I put my kids to bed." And this is. I mean, I'm paraphrasing it, of course. But she said, "I put my kids to bed." And she also says that if I mean, if I mean, we will die together. I'm just paraphrasing what she said. Of course, we will die together. As long as nobody will mourn for our loss. And this is a Palestinian woman said that. So there's other stuff is happening in this world. So y'all, I'm just hurt because every time I post the stories on my Instagram, there's babies are dying. I mean, some women who try to worship at the Al-Aqsa Mosque, filling with smoke bombs and everything. When you have U.S. airstrikes destroying buildings, houses, um, businesses, it will break your heart. And this is sad, y'all. This is really really sad. It's really sad, and I'm sorry. It really hurts me, report things that it's just sad. What we're going through right now, what the Palestinian people going through right now. It could have been our family members. It could have been your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your uncles, your aunts, your cousins out there. So my thoughts and prayers goes to the people in Palestine that lost a loved one through the Israeli occupation and the airstrikes, because it's sad at what's going on right now. It really is. And my heart goes out to y'all. My heart goes out to y'all. So, to me, what we're seeing is that it's ethnic. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's ethnic cleansing right now of what's going on with the Palestinians. It's ethnic cleansing. You see, like 300 plus Palestinians were killed in an airstrike. There's I mean, Israeli soldiers brutally attacking Palestinians, arresting them illegally. It's like in apartheid. Matter of fact, it is in apartheid. It's like South Africa all over again. So it's hurtful when I see all of this. It's really really hurtful, y'all. It really breaks my heart. So guys, basically, when I see that little Palestinian boy try to my heart broke when he saw his father was killed in the airstrike, his brother also. That really broke my heart. It really did. I could imagine if basically, it hurts, seeing a child losing a father and a brother. It really hurts. Jesse says Egypt and Iran will get involved if it spreads. It's already involved, Jesse. You have the neighbor, Lebanon. The country of Lebanon and other countries already are sending rockets to Israel. That's in Lebanon. There's been reports that the Hezbollah is involved in this now, along with Hamas and Islamic Jihad in Israel, banking in Gaza. Now you got Hezbollah so everybody is getting involved in this conflict now. They're already getting involved in this conflict, and and I agree with you, Jesse. Egypt and Iran is going to get involved in this. I wouldn't even be surprised that any terrorist groups like Al Qaeda, ISIS would jump in this too. And I'm telling you, it's going to get ugly quick. Jesse continues says Iran got that smoke for Israel. Yeah, they do. Like I told y'all, it's going to get even more ugly because they're tired of seeing Palestinian people dying every day from airstrikes from Israel. It's going to. I'm gonna tell you, it's going to be this bad all together in support of the Palestinians. It's Islamic countries going to come. I mean, it's going to get that bad. So y'all, it's hurtful of what's about to happen, and a lot of countries are already condemning Israel for what they did to the Palestinians. It's spreading. You got, like I said, Lebanon involved in this now. You got another Islamic country is going to be involved. I'm telling you, this is not going to be good. And all in the UN already vote for a ceasefire, except the United States, except the U.S. And now President Biden all of a sudden say, "Oh, we need a ceasefire too." Where was that? What was? I mean, they should have stopped Israel from even going through this. It would have been a stop a ceasefire if the United States said, "No, we're not going to have this." But it is what it is. Excuse me. So it's crazy what's happening in the Middle East, and I'm following my brothers and sisters in Palestine as we speak. They're really nice people. I talk with them on Clubhouse. We exchange information on Twitter and Facebook. We follow each other on Twitter and Facebook, and because we definitely need to have a conversation of this. And tomorrow, I already posted, there's going to be some massive rallies across the world and across the U.S. In support of the Palestinian people. It's going to be cities like L.A., Miami, D.C., New York, Chicago. All of them going to be involved in this protest. And the thing, I don't know about here in New Mexico. Yeah, I haven't heard anything yet about that. But all I know is L.A., Chicago, Miami, D.C., New York. All the major cities are going to be a part in this major protest tomorrow. So it's crazy that because people are tired of this. In the mainstream media, and guess what? The mainstream media didn't report the protests. In Chicago alone, 10,000 people showed up to protest in support of Palestinians. 10,000. I think LA is 20,000. I might be mistaken, but I think it's 20,000 in Los Angeles alone, and I think about 11,000 in Miami. But yeah, people are showing up because they're tired of this. They're really, really tired of what's going on and how the Palestinian people have been treated for decades. Okay, Jesse said America is a paper tiger. Sonia C said that's where our reparations going to keep the racist, brutal state in power. Okay, Jesse said Detroit's already protested. So yeah, major cities now are starting to come out in protest in support of the Palestinian people all across the country and now around the world. You got you got UK involved, France, Germany, Italy, all of them. And the thing of it is that it's still COVID going on, and still they came out in support of the Palestinians by protesting. Sonia C says it's time for a world change now. Yes, they do. They should have been changing. So what we're seeing right now is, they're trying to eliminate the Palestinian people as a whole, making Israel the entire country, all Israel, no more Gaza, no more West Bank, all Israel countries. They try to have an ethnic cleansing on the Palestinians. And I'm already, and people sign petitions now trying to stop the violence, stop the escalations. But you're seeing that, the thing of it is that a lot of years it's been like this, but never this extreme. Never. So um, it's sad that we're seeing a lot of people dying left and right. You see a lot of professional people in Palestine, like teachers, like um, teachers, police officers. Everybody's dying because of the airstrikes in Israel. I mean, Israel fighter jets, and we're paying taxpayer dollars for this to happen, and that's sad. We're giving out taxpayer dollars to give to Israel, and look what's going on now. It's time for a change. You know, it's time for the change. I mean, I feel the Palestinians, the Palestinians feel what we're going through right now with police involved shootings, racial violence, with lynchings going on. There's what we feel, and now we're feeling what they feeling. And I told y'all, the Palestinians and ADOS are united, are one. And I know a lot of people saw the tweet from a girl from Syrian girl, talking about that blacks are more privileged than Palestinians, which is ridiculous. Everybody knows that tweet is laughable and aren't true. So it's crazy. Sonya C says that that building went down like crazy fast, and she continues to say all those people depossessed. Yeah. I just don't understand, why are we feeling that the Palestinians felt less than nothing? They basically are surviving, trying to live their lives, and all because of what their people did to the Palestinians in East Jerusalem. So this is important, and Sonia C said we need allies like that. Exactly. Now I know a lot of people gonna say that, in words of John Henry Clark, we have no friends. But obviously, you see countries around the world, including the Palestinian people, are reaching, an olive branch to us and say, we're with you on this. Look what happened with George Floyd, for example. When the whole world saw this, including the Palestinians, everybody has internet and everything. When George Floyd was killed by a police, Derek Chauvin, in Minneapolis police, put a knee in the back of his neck. The Palestinian was outraged. In fact, the Palestinians were protesting, and they condemning the United States of the treatment of black people in this country. The Palestinians, they ended up protesting in Gaza and the West Bank because of that. That's how much love they got for us. And it's time for us to show our love back to them, because they deserve it, and they need our support. And when you have the Black Panther Party, when you have Malcolm X, Angela Davis, and other civil rights leaders said we're behind the Palestinians, that says a lot. Sonia C says allies and friends are kind of different though. That's true too. Yeah. Jesse Seffer said he agreed with what I'm saying, but this is the way it is now. That we as ADOS, whether you're ADOS, whether you F1, B1, excuse me, I'm saying B1 Black First, or FBA, or we need, basically, it's time, we need hands on deck, y'all, because the Palestinians really need our support more than ever. I also joined in this pro-Palestine group, and again, like, this I'm telling y'all, this is what's going on in the Middle East is no joke. It's no joke compared to about 12 or 13 Israelis dead to 2 or 300 Palestinians. Compare to that. So Sonya C said, I saw that Black Lives Matter support last year from the that's how I'm telling you, this how really deep this thing really is between us and the Palestinians. I mean, this is more deep than you really think. You know, when you have Palestinians, there's black Palestinians. You got Christian Palestinians, Muslim Palestinians, Jewish Palestinians, and got love for us in our struggles. Got love for us when Trayvon Martin was gunned down, when Mike Brown was gunned down, when Laquan McDonald was gunned down, when Sandra Bland was found dead in a jail cell, when you have Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, they were there protesting. They were mad and they were outraged when they saw all of this happen. And this is how much love the Palestinians show for us. So I know some of y'all gonna say, and I know who are ADOS and say, well, you know, we need to take care of our own here in America, and I agree with that as well. But when you have the Palestinians like them reaching out to us and said, no, we're not going to let that happen. They're condemning, even the Palestinian government leaders condemn what the United States did to what happened with this. I told you, this is really deeper than you think. Sonia C says Afro-Palestinian. Yeah, I was going to say Afro-Palestinians. Exactly. I saw a video on YouTube when you see, I saw three brothers from Chicago came to the West Bank, came to Gaza City, and do you know how many Palestinians welcomed them with open arms, calling them brothers, and showing them love. You got an African guy that was there showing him love, and this is how serious the Palestinians feel about us. So y'all, I'm telling y'all, this is to me was hurtful. And y'all don't have to you don't have to agree with what I feel about this or anything like that, and that's fine. But when you see children as young as 6 or 7 died in the rubble by an Israeli airstrike, picture this, y'all. Picture a child. Picture a child didn't have anything to do with the conflict. All of a sudden, boom, and the child's no longer here. I see another body. This is what disturbed me, y'all, about this. It's a dead body of a Palestinian, and when he died, his peace sign was up. He had a peace sign up in the air, and he died with a peace sign up in the air. This is scary. Like Barrett said, Palestine is Africa, or at least before the European conquerors. That's facts too. Yeah. But see, this is why I want to come on, you guys, on social media to tell y'all how love that we got from the Palestinians. That the Palestinians were always there for us because they're suffering as much as we are with the occupying of what's going on, with the occupation of what Israel is doing to them. How, they're trying to not like this. And this is sad. This is really sad. TP Judah Lion, welcome to my live. And TP Judah Lion said that the last time I checked, they were kicking us out the land anyway. They were basically occupying the Palestinian territories. I'm talking about it is sad. When you can't go anywhere, when you just occupied, when they force Palestinians to do things that they don't want to do. When some of them, I heard that Palestinian women was raped. I mean, this is how deep this thing is. And the children, the kids, lost family, mothers and fathers. I mean, think about it. What if this happened here? I'm gonna say hypothetically, and I hope it's not happening here. But what if it happened in America? Same thing with Israel doing with the Palestinians right now. Family members will be lost. I mean, we'll be so much. I mean, we'll be just as bad as they are. So at the end of the day, y'all, just remember one thing, and just remember one thing and one thing only. If you talk to your family, tell them that you love them because you never know what will happen. If you talk to a Palestinian, whether it's online or in person, give them the love and support because they deserve it and then some, y'all. I mean, they really deserve it. They've gone through a lot. Compared to Israel's death of coming with the rockets, 11 Israelis, 12 Israelis. Compare that to 200 people, 300 people dead by Palestinians dead. So y'all, I'm done. I'm about to go to Angela Nirvana. I heard she started her live, so we have to go over there. But I want to thank you guys for tuning in on my live. Again, you don't have to do that. You probably got other stuff going on, but you took time to go on my live, check out my live, and I appreciate everything you've done, guys. But that's all I'm going to say today because it's 7:04 already, my time. So, I wish you guys a good evening. Stay safe out there, and you know, ADOS for life. Take care, guys.